Ain't no new attitude, dude. I'm just being me. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of people like you, who I go out of my way to be nice to, but nice don't pay the bills where I'm from, homie.
Unbelievable. So you say you don't care about, even though you got a tremendous reaction here from the fans in Forest City, and you received a lot of applause around the country. Even though you received a lot of adulation from these fans, you don't care about it. What do you care about, Rodney Mack?
All I care about is hurting people, beating people down, and leaving my legacy in the ring as pound for pound the baddest man to ever touch the ground.
Pounds from Memphis, Tennessee. All that Alan Steele. Dynamite with a couple of forearms. Has the advantage. Irish whip, no, reversed. Here comes All That. Oh, hits the turnbuckle. And Dynamite was able to connect with that big boot to the face. He's saying that's all she wrote. Dynamite looking for that sour face silencer, no, reversed. Oh, man. The sour face silencer reversing out. If he hooks in this steel trap, that may be it. Referee Chuck Poe right there asking Dynamite, do you give? I think Dynamite's over there tapping. Referee sees it now, calls for the bell, and All That remains undefeated in Ringside Championship Wrestling.
Your winner, All That,
has been presented once again. Who is it exactly All That is chasing? Well, first of all, Golden Boy, it's a pleasure. How you doing? Yeah. You know what? When I heard I was wrestling in Forest City, I was like, oh, that's really cool. Because that just means one more body bag I need to tow in the trunk. But then when they said, Alan Steele, you're going to be the guest on the hottest talk show in the world, the Golden Circle, those chill bumps are very similar, if you know what I'm saying. But let's get to the point. You want to know, they want to know, they want to know, who is it that Alan Steele wants so bad that he can taste it? And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you, Greg Anthony, exactly who it is.
him?
Exactly.
Him?
Years and years.
You're kidding, right?
Years and years I've been waiting.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Alan Steele is looking for, I can't tell him, but all you need to know is that it is good as gold.
Contest it's been here in Forest City. A historic match for the RCW Championship, short arm clothesline by John Michael Worthington. He thinks the championship is within his grasp. I don't think he hit it as powerfully as he wanted to. As Girl Candy is back up on his feet. He's thinking something here. I think he's thinking spear, and he hits it on John Michael Worthington. Goes for a cover. No referee. 1, 2, 3, and Girl Candy should be 4, 5. The fans are right there counting with him. We should have a new champion. It should be Girl Candy Christian Jacobs, but referee Chuck Poe is down. Jacobs is going to check with Chuck Poe right now, try to revive him. Get him over here, get back to that cover. He's helping Poe up. But wait a second, John Michael is now to his feet. He's going to spin him around, boot to the midsection. If he hits this, this is the sure shot. If he hits a sure shot, that certainly is going to be it. Worthington on top, referee there, 1, 2, 3, we have a new champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and the new and first RCW Heavyweight Champion, John Michael Worthington.
And fans, John Michael Worthington has made history tonight in Forest City. I'm losing my voice. What a night it's been. 3 months in the making. An RCW champion is crowned. But I tell you what, take nothing away from Girl Candy Christian Jacobs. Certainly, the wrestling gods were not on his side. Chuck Poe hid to some of the fans throwing paper and wads of paper with the man, the new RCW champion, John Michael Worthington. Here I go.
Heavyweight champion, history made tonight in Forest City, Arkansas. Come on, guys, come on. The new RCW heavyweight champion, history made right here tonight in Forest City. And John Michael, you got to feel a little bit about yourself right now. Come on, guys, please. Ladies and gentlemen, John Michael Worthington, the new. Wrestling fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of RCW Late Night Wrestling right here on KAIT TV8 Jonesboro. And this week, and you can hear some noise in the background, this week we are coming to you from Wynn, Arkansas. 34th annual Farm Fest is right here, 2010. We got a lot of people hanging out at Cross County Bank, make a lot of noise. I tell you what, let me go over here. I'm going to embarrass somebody. You know I like to do that. I have here with me Becca Jackson. Becca did a fantastic job with the committee with her husband Neil of making Farm Fest 2010, the 34th annual edition, a reality. And here we are, Becca. You having a good time?
Oh yeah, this is a blast.
Now here in just a few seconds, we're going to have some great ringside championship wrestling. And to my knowledge, this is the first time professional wrestling has been at Farm Fest. And I don't know, what do you think about it?
Oh man, I'm ready to see it.
Well, Becca's ready, and I hope you're ready. We'll be back with more RCW Late Night Wrestling in just a moment.
Quiet. House down. Becker. Beckham. Beckham. Feel like Bad Credit has you locked up? Card a day will bail you out.
Card a day, you ride a day, just say yes. Card a day, you ride a day, our deal is the best.
Good credit or bad credit at Card a day, we say yes. There you go.
Card a day, you ride a day, just say yes.
Alright, wrestling fans, this is our opening contest on RCW Late Night Wrestling, set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Your referee, Justin Bryson. Introducing first, he represents the Nightmare Kenway School of Professional Wrestling. This is Dangerous Dan Matthews. And wrestling fans, his opponent is a third-generation wrestling superstar from Pensacola, Florida, 3G Eric Wayne.
Big up wrestling fans, Brian Thompson once again ringside with you this week from Farm Fest 2010 in Wynn, Arkansas. And yes, you just saw that was not me ringing the bell. That was the Golden Boy Greg Anthony, one half of Midnight Gold, serving this week as guest timekeeper for this particular matchup, as it will be Dangerous Dan Matthews representing the Nightmare Ken Wayne School of Professional Wrestling, taking on 3G Eric Wayne, who is actually the son of Ken Wayne and one of the first 2 graduates of that school. Before we went on the air, there was an interview segment involving Golden Boy Greg Anthony and 3G Eric Wayne. A little bit of trash talking between the two because they have a little bit of a storied past here in Ringside Championship Wrestling, as it involves their respective tag teams. Golden Boy teams up with Beautiful Bobby Eaton. They comprise Midnight Gold. On the opposite end, it's 3G Eric Wayne and the big man from the Windy City, his training partner from the Nightmare Ken Wayne School of Wrestling, Big Kid Nichols. They are Premier Brutality, and those 2 teams have had several battles here at Ringside Championship Wrestling. And on this occasion at Farm Fest 2010, there you see Golden Boy. You saw Eric Wayne almost fall down courtesy of a leg trip by Golden Boy, who says he was simply cleaning the canvas of the RCW ring. I don't know if I buy that. We have some ocean front property here in downtown Wynn, Arkansas, too, which is where we are from this week. My hometown area. Glad to be there at Farm Fest 2010. A very hot, sunny day and a very exciting weekend of festivities. We heard earlier from Becca Jackson, one of the organizers of the event, part of a committee headed up by herself and her husband, Neil Jackson. They did a wonderful job in bringing Farm Fest back to downtown Wynn last year. The second year back in downtown was another success, and we look forward to many, many great years of Farm Fest. As you see Dangerous Dan Matthews, he wants a victory to prove to a man that he is trained with that he is ready for the next level of professional wrestling. Golden Boy smiling about it. I guess he's out here technically cheering for Dan Matthews, although it wasn't that long ago that Dan Matthews and Eric Wayne had, that Dan Matthews and Golden Boy Greg Anthony had a tremendous matchup at one of our live events. Sometimes we bring them to you on television, sometimes due to our time frame we're not able to bring them to you. That's why we want you to come out every time Ringside Championship Wrestling is live and in person in your hometown. Dangerous Dan Matthews now wrenching in that side headlock, and Eric Wayne's going to break it up. Swing in the midst of the back elbow by Dan Matthews. Oh, tilt-a-whirl into a head scissors takeover by 3G Eric Wayne. You remember his father, Nightmare Ken Wayne, one half of the legendary Nightmares tag team, was very much a high flyer in his heyday, and he has just passed those traits right on down to his son. Hey, wait a minute. Golden Boy Greg Anthony again is just totally messing with these guys. I thought he was supposed to be the guest timekeeper and simply ring the bell, but apparently even Dan Matthews is not happy about it. As you see several fans gathered around here in downtown Wynn for this exciting matchup. Golden Boy keeps picking at 3G, and Dan Matthews, he's frustrated with it too. He's a sportsman. He wants to compete, wants to be in there and get the victory fair and square. He wants no outside help, no outside interference from the Golden Boy. I want to thank all the great fans who came out just hours ago as part of 4th in the Forest. What an exciting time we had. It's good to see all of our great friends that came out for that exciting event. Double B, Brandon Baxter, 1019 KISS FM, that entire crew, they do a wonderful job in bringing you 4th in the Forest each and every year in Jonesboro. And I cannot personally, for one, I cannot wait till next year to see what they have in store for the 2011 version of 4th in the Forest. Of course, this year we were held a day early. We want to, of course, on this holiday weekend, want to thank you for being here with us. And, of course, want to remind you it's Independence Day, certainly something we want to celebrate. The birth of our great nation. It's July 4th. Actually, technically, it is July 4th, and we'll have a fun day, I'm sure, Sunday, you with your family. We want to thank you for staying up late with us here at RCW. I'm sure there's some fireworks still popping. There's fireworks in the ring right now as Dangerous Dan Matthews works on the left leg of 3G. Now, wait a minute. The Golden Boy Greg Anthony again is messing with referee Justin Bryson. I don't know, as Dan Matthews tries to turn this over into a submission maneuver. And Dan Matthews has it locked in. 3G Eric Wayne quickly gets to the ropes. Very, very wise on his part. And you see it favoring that leg. And look at this. Come on. Golden Boy Greg Anthony with the trip on 3G Eric Wayne. And Dan Matthews, look at the frustrated look on his face. He's saying, hold on a minute.
You get out of here.
He just told Greg Anthony to get out of here.
Get out of here. You boys, get on him. Get out of here. You want to win or not? Get on
Golden Boy is just yelling at him, saying, come on, if you want to win, get on him. Dan Matthews is saying, look, I don't play that way. It's all about sportsmanship, all about competition with him. And he's one of the favorites you can see every Friday night in West Memphis at the Nightmare Ken Wayne School of Professional Wrestling as part of New Experience Wrestling, one of our friends and sister wrestling promotions here in the area. And it's all about sportsmanship there. And with these two, certainly a friendship, even though they're both looking for the victory to move up the ladder here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. As Dan Matthews drops an elbow, he had whipped Eric Wayne hard into turnbuckles. I'm sure Dan is not excited. He doesn't want that asterisk of Dan Matthews defeated 3G Eric Wayne with assistance from Golden Boy Greg Anthony. He doesn't want that at all. Another hard Irish whip into a backbreaker, well executed by Dangerous Dan Matthews. He's one of those type of athletes that doesn't say a whole lot, doesn't yell, doesn't scream, doesn't do those sorts of things. He's kind of quiet, but when he gets in that ring, he does an awful lot of talking, and he's methodical and picks his spots, and that is the kind of training he received at the Nightmare Ken Wayne School of Wrestling. And so far, he has used it to his advantage, although, as you see, Eric Wayne not wanting to sit down and take it lightly. He is going to fire back with all of his energy to try to be victorious this week, coming to you from Wynn Farm Fest on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night. Be sure to visit us online at www.rcwwrestling.com. We're going to have some updates coming up on the website about some personal appearances with Ringside Championship Wrestling. I want you to see that. Dan Matthews now going for a cover. 2 count only, says referee Justin Bryson. Dan now working over 3G in the corner. I guess I don't see him. I guess Golden Boy Greg Anthony did finally leave the ringside area. So I will return to my duties as timekeeper. As Dan Matthews is just trying to wear down 3G Eric Wayne en route to a victory. As you saw at the top of our program, what an exciting program we had for you last week. Rodney Mack returns to Ringside Championship Wrestling, says he is looking simply to hurt somebody and leave his legacy in the ring as one of the baddest men in professional wrestling. As 3G Eric Wayne able to counter. Now he is going to try to take advantage in this contest. We also saw a victory by All That Alan Steele, remaining undefeated in Ringside Championship Wrestling. He is 4-0. And we're still, maybe we'll find out. Maybe it was revealed. Wait a second, German suplex. Let's follow this action. 1, 2, 3, that's it. A victory for 3G Eric Wayne. We'll talk more about last week when we come back. But a win for 3G in Wynn, Arkansas.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, 3G Eric Wayne.
Tremendous contest. I love this right here. Sportsmanship handshake. These two are good friends. They had trained together at the Nightmare Ken Wayne School of Wrestling. 3G Eric Wayne, one of the first graduates, handing down his knowledge to a man, a great young athlete in Dangerous Dan Matthews. You'll see more of him. But for this week, the winner, 3G Eric Wayne. We'll be back.
Eric Wayne again, a victor.
But a hard-working band in a good sedan, truck or SUV. Car today, you'll ride today, cause we just say yes. Even good people have credit problems, we understand. Car today, you ride today, we have a plan. Come on down, you'll see what we got. Your next and we'll sit it on our lot. Car today, you'll ride today, because we say yes.
If you've been turned down, come to Car today and get your next set of wheels from our lot.
Car today, you ride today, 'cause we just say yes.
Quiet. Crouch down. Becker. Beckham. Beckham. Your leg bad credit has you locked up. Car today will bail you out.
Car today, you ride dangerously. Just say yes. Car today, you ride today. Our deal is the best.
Good credit or bad credit at Car today, we say yes. There you go.
Car today, you ride dangerously. Just say yes.
Welcome back to RCW Late Nite Wrestling right here on KIT TVA Jonesboro. I think these people make a lot of noise because they are here with me, and I am standing by with the newest member of the RCW roster, the sensational Jamie J from right here in Wynn, Arkansas. Now, Jamie, you have a big matchup coming up this week. You got Scott Fury one-on-one, you guys. It's no secret that you guys go way back and have had some history in the past. You don't really like each other, but maybe you're going to settle it right here at Farm Fest 2010.
Well, you know, that's the thing about it. It's great to be right here in my hometown. It's great to have my debut match in RCW with Scott Fury. Because like you said, we go way back. We go way back. And you know what? This is a great way for me to get started in RCW.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jamie J, let's say this. We started RCW a couple months ago, and one name we had talked to you about coming in down the road, and I'll tell you what, our phone lines were going off the hook. Our emails were just being overloaded. People saying throughout Northeast Arkansas, we want Jamie J. How do you feel about that, knowing that these people are behind you 110%?
Well, you know what? I don't know if my hearing's got bad or what, but are y'all people behind me?
Yeah!
Hey, let me tell you what, that sounds great. I'm ready to get in here. I'm ready to do this thing, and I want to make each and every one of y'all happy.
Hey, boy,
Get out here in the sun.
Hey,
come on! I'm behind you.
Come on!
Make you mad.
Well, apparently Scott Fury, as I'm getting back to the broadcast area here in downtown Wynn for Farm Fest 2010,
We're gonna have a match. I think
34th
a little early. Come on.
annual edition. Here we go. Bell's gonna sound. We're not gonna have introductions. I can tell you what, though, that man in the ring stomping away at Jamie J. In our car today, feature match of the week is Scott Fury. Of course, thank you to our great friends at Car Today, Mark Crabtree, Craig Stone, for all the great work they do, and they bring you ringside championship wrestling each and every week right here on KIT TVA Jonesboro. But as I mentioned, that young man that jumped Jamie J from behind, Irish Dragon Scott Fury, a man who needs really no introduction to Northeast Arkansas wrestling fans. He's been around for some time, and one of the thorns in his side, as he would tell anyone, is Jamie J, as these two have tried to better each other for many years, and some say Jamie J got the best of Scott, some say Scott got the best of Jamie J, and this week on RCW, we're going to find out who's the better man this week here from Wynn Farm Fest 2010. Jamie J out of that situation now. He grabs a side headlock on Scott Fury, who attacked him from behind during that interview. And I'm not going to lie to you, fans, that phone line has been ringing off the hook. That email box has been overloaded. People wanting to see Jamie J in ringside championship wrestling. We're glad to have him here on the roster. And I'll tell you what, every time I wake up, it seems like somebody new is joining the crew. We saw last week Rodney Mack returning after a few-week absence, saying that he's ready to start hurting people again. Now you have Jamie J looking to be successful. Scott Fury's with us now. Some of the best talent in professional wrestling is trying to apply their trade right here in RCW. It's a nice hip toss by the sensational Jamie J. Deep arm drag and a drop kick. A deep arm drag, you know, all these guys, they all grew up watching the legendary Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And many of you that may not be familiar with him, that DVD from World Wrestling Entertainment out right now, you can see just what kind of a sensational athlete he was and why some of these guys want to study him. And I tell you what, that is exactly what these guys need to do. Study the greats, improve their game, and take it to a new level here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. A beautiful day at Wynn Farm Fest 2010. A hot day, no doubt about it. It certainly was very, very warm. But be that as it may be warm, but it was fun and exciting out there with Ringside Championship Wrestling. Look forward to maybe being back next year at Farm Fest. As Scott Fury now, oh, wait a second, change of heart. Jamie asking his fans, what do you think? They're all chanting. You can hear them in the background. Go, Jamie, go. They've kind of found picked the shadiest part of the area. Some of the vendors that were set up at Farm Fest had little tents and whatnot, so they kind of snuck up under it. That's why you can hear them, but you can't see them. And Scott Fury is saying, look, man, just shake my hand. Oh, and Jamie, I like that. Jamie's saying, forget you, man. You jumped me from behind, and now all of a sudden you're wanting to shake my hand. I don't think so. You can hear the chants of the fans. Go, Jamie, go. This young man has made a mark in the professional wrestling industry over the last several years. Big opportunities for him that have abounded. But again, one of those big thorns in his side is that man right there in the ring, Scott Fury, who doesn't mind telling you he hates Jamie J. It's not about competition, as we saw in our first matchup between 3G Eric Wayne and Dangerous Dan Matthews. With Scott Fury and Jamie J, it's just a total dislike. Crucifix-like pinning combination. I was impressed with Scott Fury as he hangs on to the hammerlock out of it. Thought he was going to get a pinning situation there. Referee Justin Bryson right there getting on Scott Fury, who snuck in a shot right back on that arm during the break. And now he's going to use the ring to his advantage here, twisting Jamie J's arm in the ring ropes, now kicking him as referee continues to admonish him again. Scott Fury, Jamie J, ringside championship wrestling action, professional wrestling the way it should be. Oh, look at that, just kind of dropped that leg down across, or dropped the arm forward. Stunning maneuver. And now Scott Fury right back to the hammerlock. Looking here for a submission. And now mouthing those fans saying, what do you think about Jamie J now? Interesting.
I'm just telling you.
What do you say, Jamie?
Referee right there, you can hear him asking, what do you say, Jamie? Asking Jamie J if he wants to give it up. I don't think that's going to be the case. The sensational Jamie J tried to roll through, but give Scott Fury credit, he hung on. As I was mentioning, talking about what we saw at the top of the program about last week, and we mentioned Rodney Mack returning to Ringside Championship Wrestling. We also saw Alan Steele victorious 4-0. Hopefully, we'll find out, gotta be sooner or later, find out exactly who he's looking for. Although, Golden Boy Greg Anthony during the Golden Circle segment was able to get the answer, but he wouldn't share it with us. And even after the cameras quit rolling, I tried to say, come on guys, tell the live audience. We won't tell anybody, of course we won't, but he still wouldn't give us the answer we were looking for. So at this point in time, we remain kind of, I don't know, at a standstill as far as that particular situation is concerned, although we may have to pull it out of Golden Boy Craig Anthony at some point in time. And of course, last week we showed you the closing moments, the last 4 or 5 minutes of what was close to a 30-minute matchup to crown the first ever RCW Heavyweight Champion. That champion is now John Michael Worthington. Worthington came in, said he was going to be champion, and he proved himself to be right. He is your champion. It's Jamie J now, someone that certainly wants to get in competition for that particular title. Thought he had a break in the action there, or he was going to be able to take control on Scott Fury, but Fury right back at him, give him some credit for staying on top of Jamie J. Irish whip coming up now. No reversal by the sensational one. Elbow catches Scott Fury, floors him down, and now Jamie J going to work with some big right hands on the top of the head. Scooping a slam coming up. Yes. Jamie J sneaking airborne. Again, John Michael, the new champion, but Christian Jacobs so close. I can see some big rematches coming up with those two in the very near future as we see Jamie J go airborne, high cross body. Holds on to the leg, 1, 2. Oh, very close. So close yet so far away, I think. Yeah, Scott Fury raking the eyes now. Irish whip coming up by Scott Fury. Reversal by Jamie J. Pitches him behind there. Oh, catches him with the diamond cutter-like maneuver. He's going to try to roll the man over. Will he have a victory here? 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner in his RCW debut, the sensational Jamie J.
The sensational Jamie J, a victor. Another man looking to climb that ladder to face the new RCW champion, John Michael Worthington. On that note, wrestling fans, thank you for joining us this week on RCW Late Night Wrestling. We'll be back right here next week on KAIT, TV at Jonesboro, 12:30. We look forward to seeing you there. More great action next week on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night. Have a great night, everybody.